Limoges CSP. Il a porté à 73 reprises la tunique tricolore entre 1991 et 1995 et c'est en son honneur que les cadets du Limoges CSP portent un réplica de son maillot porté à cette époque avec les Bleus.
Du coup, j'ai personne moi pour faire le micmac, hein, les mecs.
Mesdames et messieurs, merci de vous lever afin d'observer une minute d'applaudissement en l'honneur de Monsieur Frédéric Forson.
Good evening, basketball fans, and welcome to Limoges in France for this matchup of the Group K in the FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers between France and Bulgaria. We're getting the chance to catch the last few moments of a ceremony for one of the French legends. And you see the other matchups there in Group K as Frédéric Fortet being honored at half court. And these French fans applauding his contributions to French basketball. Meanwhile, in Group K, France has qualified after their victory over the Czech Republic on Friday. So all the more reason to celebrate here at the Palais des Sports de Beaublanc. Meanwhile, elsewhere in Group K, you'll see Bulgaria currently in 5th place, still clinging on to some hope to grab one of the third spot out of Group K in order to qualify. Right now, Bulgaria stuck at 4 and 5, and their roster, a number of guys to look out for. This is a Bulgarian team that beat France back in September in the previous window, and what was one of the upsets, France's first loss actually. But in that game, Dimitar Dimitrov, number 34, the big man, power forward, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, playing a complete game for coach Lyubomir Medchov. But Bulgaria, they beat Bosnia on Friday, 89-82, and it's been a team that seems to be alternating wins and losses pretty much every time out in these qualifiers, running up to their 4 and 5 record. Another important player for them is Pavel Maranov, who comes in 11 points per game, but their leading scorer is the other Maranov, Pavel Maranov, at 13 points per game. Meanwhile, for France, they got a great debut from Ahmed Mbaye on Friday, 18 points in his first appearance in these qualifiers for France. But the ever-dependable Paul Lacombe, number 90, a do-it-all player, especially defensively for France, leading the European qualifiers and steals at 2.3 a game. And then on Andrew Albisi, the point guard who's pretty much started all 9 games he's played in so far for France. He and Paul Lacombe, the only 2 players who have suited up in every game thus far. And now the French players will be introduced in front of the home crowd. And of course, these Limoges fans really excited about Axel Boutet being in the roster. He's played 3 games so far for France in the qualifiers, and he plays for Limoges here in this arena. Now we'll have the national anthems for both countries. First was Bulgaria's. That was the Bulgarian anthem. And now we'll have the French national anthem. So the national anthems have been played. Now the teams will shake hands at half court and exchange mementos in the everlasting tradition of sportsmanship in FIBA competition. And if you heard these fans getting a little bit louder than usual as we introduce the referees from Italy, Tolga Sahin, from Croatia, Luka Kardam, and from Italy, Beniamino Manuel Attard. Meanwhile, the French team featuring 3 players who play their club basketball here in Limoges, in William Howard, Jonathan Roussel, and Axel Boutet. So they will have a little home court, even more of a home court advantage. Obviously, the French team having the home court advantage playing here in France. And once again, you see the Bulgarian lineup. We mentioned already Dimitrov and the Maranov boys. Chadvar Kostov as well will be looking at for a heavy contribution. This is a team that doesn't necessarily blow you away with their talent per se, but they play very, very hard. The coach Minchev, you see starting 5, Maranov, Kostov, the other Pavel Maranov, Dimitrov, and finally Nikolai Vaklinov. They have one Maranov at the point and the other one on the wing. Meanwhile, for France, it will probably be starting 5 that we've seen quite regularly in terms of BC and Paul Lacombe. Obviously, no Batum or De Colo in this team. But these are a number of players. A bit of an older team. I mean, Mathias Lessort, one of the young guys who's really come on nicely for France. He's a very physical force. Comes in averaging 77% shooting from the field, and he will be starting at center. In the front court alongside him will be Paul Lacombe and Konate, and then also Amath Mbaye And of course, Andrew Albisi running the show, floor general on the court. Albisi, very unselfish point guard. Doesn't really look for a shot too much, but comes in averaging nearly 5 assists per game. And he has a number of options to pass the ball to in this French team.
Mathias, tu fais semblant d'aller chercher,
coach
mais tu reviens comme si tu
Minchev
faisais pique pour Andrew.
for
Et en fait,
Bulgaria,
tu descends faire un down
who's
screen
led this
pour Paul.
team, currently ranked 48th in the world of FIBA,
Et on joue sur la
to a
sortie.
4-5 record. Once again, Bosnia tied with Finland at 4-5, one game behind Russia, who is currently taking care of business against the Czech Republic. Last I checked, they were up 30 points in that game. Meanwhile, Bulgaria looking to get 2 wins in the same window for the first time in these qualifiers. And Vincent Collet, the head coach of Strasbourg here in France, and also the national team, will be doing his best to ensure that doesn't happen. Collet currently enjoying an 8-1 record, which is pretty much at the top of these qualifiers. Greece, so far, the only team still undefeated in the qualifiers. And of course, France became the 5th team to qualify for the World Cup next summer. Spain and Turkey joining them last night. And they want to maintain their very impressive record, move to 9-1, push it to 90% winning percentage, and create more separation between them and the Czech Republic, as those 2 teams will be matched up again in the final game, day 12. So a number of these players from France also got their debut the other night alongside Amat Mbaye, who has been playing at Virtus Bologna in the Basketball Champions League, had a very tremendous season thus far. We also saw Ousmane Kamara, the big man, 6'8", had 8 rebounds in just 15 minutes against the Czech Republic in his first action of the qualifiers. And then Yakuba Ouattara didn't get a chance to score, but he also played his first game on Friday. So those 3 will be involved here. Meanwhile, we're going to take a moment of silence to show our appreciation for Patrick Baumann, and I will share a few more words after this. So Patrick Baumann was the Secretary General of FIBA, passed away recently, was very instrumental in getting these World Cup qualifiers in its current format. It's given a chance for all the fans from around the world to catch their national teams in competitive play, meaningful games ahead of other tournaments. Meanwhile, here in Limoges, we are officially live and underway with the first possession going to Bulgaria in white. You see France, Les Bleus, of course, in their trademark dark blue uniforms. And on the first possession for Bulgaria, shot is up and no good that time from Kostov. Albisi will casually bring the ball up for France. And here's Mbaye, drives baseline and almost took off for the dunk, but got fouled by Dimitrov. And he'll head to the free throw line for 2. You see Mbaye gathering his steps, kind of lost the ball on its way up, but a chance, just like on Friday, to get the first points for France. Mbaye aggressive out of the gates. First free throw is good. And it's the first point of the game coming from the free throw line. So Mbaye connects on both. France with the early 2-0 lead. Bulgaria looking to answer right away. Here's Maranov gets the high screen and loses the ball out of bounds to France. So Maranov with the turnover. Stanimir Maranov running the point. Pavel Maranov on the wing. Calling out the play, looking for Lacombe. Nice catch and a quick turn and score for Paul Lacombe. And France with points on both of their early possessions. Meanwhile, Kostov, a little bit out of control, gets the ball over to Maranov, and there's a foul on Paul Lacombe. Again, we're very aware of Lacombe coming in here. Him and Albisi actually come in as the two leading stealsmen in the qualifiers, and you see the two of them connecting there. Nice quick finish from Lacombe for his first basket. Such a versatile player. Meanwhile, Kostov gets the ball poked away by Konate, and within the hustle, managed to land out of bounds. It's another turnover for Bulgaria. And of course, these two teams went back at it in September in a game that France had a few of its stars, quote unquote, Batum and Nicolo. And Batum after the game saying they didn't underestimate Bulgaria, but they weren't fully ready either, as Bulgaria won that matchup 74-68. Meanwhile, Lacombe the lob to Lassau, who can't quite finish the dunk, gets his own rebound. They go back to him on the post. Takes a little bump, kicks it out. Lacombe for three, no good. And the rebound over to Dimitrov, looking to push the tempo. Goes right at Mbai, short on the left-handed floater. So Bulgaria still scoreless. And BC looking to split the double team and draws a foul while trying to do so. And take another look. BC confident in his ball handling. There's Lacombe. Oh, the nice skip pass, LBC. The reluctant three-point shooter, but not this time. Knocking down the open tray. And France with the brightest of starts here so far, holding Bulgaria scoreless, and 7-0 run. Again, if you thought France were going to take their foot off the gas after qualifying, doesn't seem to be the case thus far. Meanwhile, on the other end, Maranov the three. And finally, Bulgaria on the board. Stanimir Maranov connecting on the outside shot. And there's another nice pass, pick and roll. Goes back out to Konate. He's too strong on the three, but Lassau has been able to get in front of the rim. Meanwhile, another turnover. Lacombe lays it up and in easily past Maranov. Uncontested layup. It's going to be another steal for Lacombe. Already 4 points. As you saw, Bulgarian player just slipping on the ground, unforced turnover. Meanwhile, Maranov kicks it out to Kostov. Konate draped all over him. Kostov still takes the contested three. No good. Albisi looking to run. Mbai feeds Lassau, who finds the cut in Konate. It's another layup, and that's going to lead to a timeout for Minchev, as France scoring any way they want here in the first quarter. Already 11-3. Lassau with a great find, kind of in a tough position behind the basket. See the ball goes inside, and Konate beating his man on the cut. Maranov not even recognizing what was going on behind his head. So again, Bulgaria winning that first game at home, 74-68 over France. The game was tied at 66 with 5 minutes left before Bulgaria ended it on an 8-2 run to finish the game. France shot 4 of 22 from 3 and missed a lot of free throws as well, committed 19 turnovers. And It was the first game since Boris Diaw's retirement, conveniently, and kind of left a leadership void. You sensed it in that game. France not really sure where to turn. And for a lot of these players, a bit of a wake-up call. Obviously, France still ranked 3rd in the world. Meanwhile, for Bulgaria, it was a big win. And they haven't really been able to capitalize on the momentum of it. Again, they lost their very next game. They did beat Bosnia this past Friday. But so far, struggling to put points on the board here in Limoges. And it's another steal for Lacombe. Konate pushing it. And he gets fouled. Meanwhile, we talked about Paul Lacombe's ability to read passing lanes and the quick hands. So far, already with 2 steals. You see there, just beats his man to the spot. You got to know the scouting report. He gambles for steals quite often. Meanwhile, that time a steal the other way, Zahariev, and he goes almost coast to coast. Albisi, very brave of him to try to take the charge. Zahariev making his impact felt right after coming into the game. See the no call on the ball going out of bounds off Konate. So Bulgaria would keep the possession. Kind of a dangerous play, but fortunately no one harmed. There's Vincent Collet, who's led this French team for a few years now. And Maranov, the quick catch and shoot on the baseline feed, and it's his first basket of the game. Meanwhile, Lacombe going right at Maranov, can't finish in the lane. Here's Stanimir Maranov. Oh, the nice pass, cross court, leads to the open 3. Dimitrov on the board now. Dimitrov, a 50% three-point shooter, was perfectly set. Bulgaria now cuts the deficit down to 4. So great response coming out of the timeout for Bulgaria. Here's Mbai. He'll try to respond to 3 of his own. No good. Rebounds Zahariev. Mbai with a good defense, and Albisi to steal. Decides to pull it back out, finds Mbai, and he'll take a foul. So both Albisi and Lacombe have been pests offensively in this first quarter. A couple of steals each. And that foul's going to go against Pavel Maranov. And BC looking to get by his man, takes a bump. And that time, Stanimir Maranov committing the foul, sending Albisi to the free throw line. So Andrew Albisi, who again will tell you himself, not much of a scorer, but already with a three-pointer here tonight. Here looking to penetrate, get all the way to the basket, and a chance to step up to the free throw line. And the ovation you hear there is for Axel Boutet. Not only did he have his best game in a French uniform with 13 points on Friday against the Czech Republic, but he is a player for Limoges. And of course, this game taking place at the Palais des Sports de Beaublanc here in Limoges, as Albisi knocks down the first free throw. Albisi plays his club basketball over in Spain. This is just the 10th and 11th free throws in 9 games for Albisi. He knocks down on both. He's a 90% shooter. Zahariev couldn't quite get the ball inside Dimitrov. Oh, the strong drive behind the back feed, and Dimitrov can't finish over the arms, but right there for the putback is Stanimir Maranov. And the point guard Makes amends for his foul in the previous play with the putback. Oh, Mbai spots up. Too strong on that three. Oh, good. Oh, they were looking for the transition pass, but Maranov couldn't quite find his teammate. And you see the frustration. Meanwhile, on the other end, first a behind the back pass from Stanimir Maranov. And then he hangs around. Look what I found. And another Limoges player has just checked into the game, Jonathan Roussel, number 55 for France. Same in the corner, the left corner, as he replaces Mbai. And looks like Kamara, or no, that's Alain Kofi, checked in as well, number 34 for France, the big man, playing in his 9th game, only missing one of the qualifiers thus far. He hands it off to Albisi. Looking for the high screen from the saw. Step back three, Albisi planks it, but Roussel can't get the putback, and Boutte there for the offensive rebound. The shot clock resets as the ball hits the rim. Roussel finds Lessor diving to the basket, left hand, and he'll head to the free throw line. So France getting multiple opportunities, crashing the offensive glass. You see there the pick and roll as Dimitrov not really in a defensive position. So LBC will get a rest. Axel Julien checking into the game. Julien, another one of those Basketball Champions League players, over for Dijon as Lessor misses the first free throw. And he goes 0 for 2 from the line. So France empty on that possession. Meanwhile, Zahariev all the way to the cup, lays it in off the glass over Lessor. So all of a sudden, Bulgaria right back in this game, have really picked it up defensively these last few possessions, though they commit the foul. And that will be the 15th foul to send France back to the free throw line. So Abramov committed the foul. And while Lessor heads to the bench, gets a nice applause from the fans. Usman Kamara checks in for him, number 44. Again, Kamara in his first game for France in these qualifiers, 4 points and 8 rebounds in just 15 minutes. So you can see Vincent Collet, a lot of faith in his bench as he puts in 5 substitute players here in the first quarter. Still over 3 minutes to go as well. Like we said, goes 2 for 2. So Petkov, number 35. In the game as well, the backup point guard for Bulgaria. Here's Avramov, who couldn't quite find a teammate, throws it away, Boutte the steal. France pulls it back out, looking to execute a play. Another pick and roll. Boutte, step back three, just over the backboard actually. And Zahariev again puts his head down and gets all the way to the rim, drawing another foul. So Zahariev has come into the game, been very aggressive. Already 4 rebounds for him in less than 4 minutes. And a steal. Of course, had that last layup. Now a chance for a couple of free throws. Knocking down the first. Zahariev, the 6'6" small forward. Only had 2 points the first time these two teams matched up. And he's got 4 now. The last 2 coming from the free throw line. So 2 point guards on the floor for France and Roussel and Julien. There's Boutet at the wing and Kofi and Kamara inside. Oh, the nice pass from Boutet. Kamara goes to work, left-handed hook is good. Good action that time for France. They were patient and they get a nice look inside. Meanwhile, Petkov gives it over to Vangilov, who's in the game as well. Now Zahariev almost making another nice play. Chases the ball down. Avramov with a shot clock winding down. Oh, the nice strip from Roussel. It's another steal for France. They've been very disruptive defensively. Oh, gets away with the travel. Boutet, corner three. Again, no good. We've seen France miss a number of open looks. They're 1 of 8 from beyond the arc so far. Bulgaria just 1 of 2. Already 8 turnovers, sorry, for Bulgaria, but this time, three-pointer is good, and guess who it is? Christos Zahariev, who has been the difference maker for Bulgaria. The lead has now cut down to 1 in the last minute of the first quarter. Roussel, shot clock down for France now. You got to do something with it. Kamara, and he won't be able to get a shot off in time. So once again, the Bulgarian defense stepping up, and they now find themselves with a chance to take their first lead of the game. Nearly backcourt there for Bulgaria. Shot clock under 10. And it's an offensive foul committed on Nikolai Vangilov. Vangilov, who did not play the first time, was in the lineup for Bulgaria when they played France in September, just didn't get on the floor. And he commits the offensive foul on the screen, giving France a chance to get one more shot before the end of the quarter. We expect France to run the clock all the way down. Shot clock has been turned off. There's Julien. Kamara kicks it out. Boutet, nice little up fake. Strong drive and finish from Maxime Boutet. Meanwhile, Zahariev looking to push it. And that shot would not have counted. So at the end of 1, France 19, Bulgaria 16. It's a 3-point lead for the home side.
FIBA Basketball World Cup is right here. You want it? Come and get it.
So we see the stats there from that first quarter. France doing a lot of damage from inside the arc, also getting to the free throw line 8 times, knocking down 6. The rebounding numbers, it's early, but you see there the big stat, 5 steals already for France. They've been very active defensively. Those turnover numbers should actually be inverted. It's Bulgaria that currently has 9 turnovers. France so far with just 2. As we take a look at some of the highlights of that first quarter, already 10 points in the paint to just 4 for Bulgaria, 10 points there for France in the paint. They've gotten 7 points off turnovers as well, have the French. But for Bulgaria, they've gotten a somewhat, I'm not going to say unexpected contribution, but definitely an early contribution from Christos Zahariev. He came into the game at 7 points per game, and he already puts up 7 points in that first quarter. Him and Pavel Maranov, 7 points apiece. Also combined 5 of 5 shooting for those two. And they have been 2 of the 3 scorers for Bulgaria. Pavel Maranov, the only other Bulgarian to score. Bulgaria shooting 6 of 9 from the field, 67%. But they currently have 7 less shot attempts than France due to those 9 turnovers. So Again, if you're Coach Minchev, you just want your guys to take care of the ball. Meanwhile, Kamara, bit of a funky-looking left-handed hook, no good. Here's Zahariev spotting up in the corner. Three-pointer, no good for Patkov, and flying in is Kofi for the rebound. Julien gets by the defender easily. Roussel, nice little hesitation. Oh, couldn't quite find Kofi. The pass is behind. Zahariev, another steal. Looking to go all the way, and he'll head to the free throw line. So once again, Zahariev just been incredible here in limited action. His second steal already. Goes right at Boutte, little Euro step. Double clutches to avoid the block. Almost completes the and one. And he makes the first free throw to stay perfect. Zahariev, who plays over at Levski Lukoil. He goes 2 for 2 from the line. Levski Sofia, one of the premier clubs in Bulgaria. Here's Boutte. Kofi, a little bit out of his shooting range. Roussel, the runner, throws it high off the glass. Kamar, the offensive rebound, has to go back up, and he knocks it in. So the ball did hit the rim, which means the shot clock didn't reset. Good awareness there from Kamara. France stays up 3 as Paul Lacombe gets ready to check back into the game. Avramov has room and was short on that three-pointer. Almost looked like a swish from our angle. And another foul near half court, this time on Patkov. So Venceslav Petkov reaching in, no question. Then takes the screen from Kofi just for good measure. Let's take another look at that Kamara putback. Again, Kamara so aggressive on the glass. Such a volume rebounder. Oh, the nice feed. Julien finds Kamara. Kofi, the long 2. And he says, forget about my range. I definitely got this one. You see, spotting up the mid-range jumper. France back up 5. Avramov was looking to get the ball inside to Vangelov. It's another turnover for Bulgaria. Their passing has just been off target so far. You see again here, it's the right idea, just not executed properly. As Kofi heads to the bench, and another Limoges player checks in, this time William Howard. You see him there, number 42, a 25-year-old. The third player for Limoges to come into the game. 3 of them on the court, or 2 of them on the court now as Pousset came out. Howard's first touch draws a foul. Howard, who just averaging 2 points per game. This is his 3rd game for France in the qualifiers. Had actually a big basket in the second half against Czech Republic to slow down their run. Meanwhile, the steal, once again, Zahariev goes straight up, and it's blocked by Boutte. The possession will remain with Bulgaria. You see there, Boutte challenging Zahariev. No foul called. Petkov inbounds it. Gets it back. Tries to throw the ball up at the rim. No good. Chance now for France to run. They decide to pull it back out. Also for Bulgaria, number 12, Alexander Yanev in the game. See him there in the paint and help side defense. Oh, what a cut. Lacombe misses the dunk. Oh, no. Did everything right. Elevated to throw it down. And all he can do is smile, as that will be on the blooper reel. Beautiful feed from Julien. Lacombe takes off. take another look from this angle. Halfway down, and by springing the rim back up, the ball goes over the backboard. No basket. Zahadev, can he stay hot? Ball gets poked out. Looking to go right at Kamara. It's taken away. Another turnover, another steal. France pushing. Boudet, easy two. Another fast break bucket for France. And Paul Lacombe involved in it yet again. His second assist. Here's Petkov. Looking to go at Kamara. Sweeping lefty hook, no good. France, another stop. And they push the lead out. The skip pass hits the rim. And that's going to be a backcourt violation. So Julien looking to go from one corner to the other. Passes it to the rim. And now BC will come back into the game. So the Limoges players getting a, once again, nice little ovation as we see Yakuba Ouattara, number 24, come into the game. His second appearance now in the World Cup qualifiers. The 26-year-old is Paul Lacombe's teammate at AS Monaco, another one of the Basketball Champions League teams. Oh, nice pass, but it's deflected out of bounds. Pavel Maranov looking to get the ball inside to Vaklinov. So 7 seconds on the shot clock for Bulgaria. There's Pavel Maranov looking to go at Lacombe. And it's going to be an offensive foul. Once again, Paul Lacombe, all you can really say, he's a great defender. He moves his feet, takes the contact right in the chest as Maranov slightly extends that lower shoulder. You see that right shoulder to initiate the contact. And Lacombe smartly just falls to the floor emphatically, draws a second personal foul on Pavel Maranov. And it's another turnover as well for Bulgaria. Already their 12th, and we've only played about 14 minutes of basketball, so they really need to figure something out there offensively. They're just giving France so many more opportunities. Already +8 shot attempts for the French. Here's Howard, open three, no good. Rebound Kamara. Ouattara, he'll take a jump shot. He'll knock down the jump shot. And what a moment for him. His first basket for France in these qualifiers. 27-18 now for the French. Oh, step back. Dimitrov, no good that time. Howard, the rebound. France moving the ball around the perimeter. Howard will take another three, and this time he knocks it down. William Howard showing off the shooting touch, and it leads to a Bulgarian timeout as they find themselves down double digits here for the first time. 12-point lead for France. You see there, no real closeout. The defender almost daring Howard to shoot. He obliges as he gets his first field goal. Let's listen in. So France enjoying a relatively good shooting night thus far, 60% from two. That was their second three-pointer. They're 2 of 10 now from beyond the arc. But for them, it's been the ball movement. They have 9 assists and also 6 steals. So you can really point to the guard play as being a difference here in the first half. Bulgaria, those 12 turnovers, really need to start taking care of the ball. Again, France playing not necessarily for qualification as they've already qualified, but of course where you end up in the standings affects the kind of draw that you get. So always going to have motivation to finish strong here. Nearly another turnover for Bulgaria. Maranov gets it back. He'll take a three. Too strong. And Lacombe the rebound. Lacombe, who listed as 6'3", but seems to play so much bigger. Long arms. Just moves so well around the floor. Here he is now with the touch. The lob to Lassalle for the alley-oop slam. What a play. Lacombe throws it up. Lassalle throws it down. France, all the momentum right now. Meanwhile, Ouattara, a little bit too close there defensively, commits the foul. But take another look at this curl, and then you feed the screener. Lassalle, very athletic, very strong, throws it down with authority. Bulgaria looking to respond to silence the crowd. Dimitrov inside. Oh, seems to have shuffled his steps, but he banks it in as the shot clock expires. Big shot that time for Dimitrov. And Lacombe once again getting a touch on offense. A couple of crossovers. LBC to pump fake. Tough pass deflected out by Kostov. And Les Bleus will have 5 seconds on the shot clock, for which they call a timeout to draw something up. So Vincent Collet chooses to burn a timeout in order to make sure his team gets off a good shot here.
Paul qui la prend, d'accord? Là, Mathias, ici. Andrew, là. William, Yacouba, donc regardez bien. Là, il y a écran. Et on va pas la donner là. En même temps, Yacouba, tu fais un écran pour William qui va bloquer son propre joueur. Et toi, tu viens faire un double écran, Mathias. Celui-là, il compte pas. Vraiment faire un deuxième, et c'est Yacouba qui seul. D'accord? Et toi, hey, William, à 3 points. Hey, au chrono.
So that definitely took you into the huddle. And we'll see if France is able to execute the play that Coach Collet has drawn up here in the huddle. Seems to be a three-point shot for Yacouba Ouattara. We'll see how Bulgaria decides to play and defend through these screens. Take a look again at the play of the half so far. The lob and the jam. So Lacombe inbound for France. Keep your eyes out on number 24 in blue. They set the screen for him. He gets open. Pulls up for three. And almost worked to perfection as Maranov collects the rebound. Bulgaria coming back the other way. Bulgaria managing just 20 points so far, and only 4 here in the second quarter, as we have a whistle for a foul committed off the ball. It's going to go against number 42, William Howard. Again, France on a 13-4 run here in the second quarter. As a skull clap goes around the arena. Shot clock under 5 again. Dimitrov, easy two. Nice drive from him right by Lassalle. And Dimitrov, again, the leading scorer in that September game against France. As Albisi, the nice inside-out play. Howard, another three, this time from the corner. You got to give credit to that pass from Lassalle. Realized that even though he was below the basket, didn't really have room to make a move, as Dimitrov can't counter on the other end. Lacombe pushing the tempo. Goes that Ouattara, Euro step, and a nice finish under the defender. 5 quick points here for France. You see here the nice little Euro step to avoid the defense. Maranov couldn't do anything about it. Here's Maranov looking to drive at Ouattara. Kicks it out. Extra pass. Kostov for 3. Oh, nice shot that time. Shavdar Kostov with his first field goal. Lacombe again. Kicks it out. Albisi airballs a 3-pointer. Here's Pavel Maranov, turns the corner, nice reverse layup, uses the rim as protection, and a 5-0 run for Bulgaria now leads to another timeout. You see Pavel Maranov, very shifty. You know, on the other end, Lassalle, in between 2 defenders, able to kick it back out. And William Howard now with 6 points. And actually, William Howard is the leading scorer for France. Consequently, as 11 players so far have scored for the French team. Axel Julien, the only player without a basket so far, but he hasn't taken a shot. Meanwhile, for Bulgaria, it's been Zahariev with 9 points and Svenimir Maranov with 9 points. And they've only had 5 total players score, so you see the balance and the depth of France really helping them here in the first half. They still have a 10-point lead, under 2 here in the second quarter. So in other action in Group K, Russia taking care of the Czech Republic 81-61. Meanwhile, Bosnia has a 17-point lead over Finland. And obviously Finland, if they have any hopes of advancing, would need to win that game. So it currently stands Russia now at 6-4, and if Bulgaria lose here at 4-6, the last 2 game days, everything would have to go their way in order to potentially have a chance. But it starts with a win here today. As Ouattara doesn't recognize that the shot clock is winding down and also travels, dragging that pivot foot. So a turnover for France. See there, no question. Bit of a unfortunate moment for Ouattara. Konate back in the game as well, replacing Paul Lacombe. Here's Petkov looking for the lob. It's taken away by Howard, and then it's going to be a simple common foul in the backcourt on Petkov, as there's another turnover for Bulgaria. See there, the hands from Howard, tip it over to Ouattara. It's the 4th team foul for Bulgaria. France, no free throws in this quarter yet. Konate inside to Lassalle, easy 2, and a strong 2 off the nice pass from Konate. France now back up 12, their largest lead of the game. And a foul on Lassalle, trying to get in the passing lane. Again, Bulgaria with 13 turnovers here in the first half. And usually, the team gets to 20 turnovers, it's going to be very hard for them to win.
Zahariev, he's looked confident, takes a little step back, and he knocks down another shot as he's the first player in double figures now. Hristo Zahariev able to create a little bit of separation from Lasov with the step back. And now we're gonna have 18 seconds on the clock here in the second quarter. France will likely use up all of it. And going to halftime with a double-digit lead, looking to extend it beyond 10. Here's Lasov, the dump-off pass. Howard can't quite finish. Konate the putback, that's no good. And as the buzzer sounds, France will head to the locker room up 39-29. It's been an exciting first half of basketball. And these fans here in Limoges at the Palais des Sports have to be happy with their performance so far. Once again, at the half, 39-29, France over Bulgaria. So we'll check out a few of the stats from the first 20 minutes and then a few of the highlights as well. But so far, it's been a complete team effort for France. They haven't shot the ball too great, 15 of 33 overall, 12 of 20 from 2, 3 of 13 from 3. But they do have 7 steals and they've forced 13 turnovers. Also 13 assists on their 15 field goals, doing a great job of sharing the ball. Meanwhile, for Bulgaria, they've actually shot the ball well, 11 of 22, 50%, but they've taken 11 less attempts than the French. And they are 3 of 6 from 3, only took 4 free throws. So shooting has not been an issue for Bulgaria, but it's taking care of the ball that has been. So we'll be back for the second half action here shortly from Limoges and the Palais des Sports de Beaublanc. Make sure you stay tuned in. So we'll check out some of the highlights of the first half action and see how France have built this 10-point lead. Once again, the ball movement has created a number of open shots. Meanwhile, Bulgaria has relied more on penetration than passing. They've only had, I believe it's 6 assists on their 11 field goals. Led in scoring by Hristo Zahariev, 11 points on 3 of 4 shooting. He also has 4 rebounds and 3 steals. So without question, despite coming off the bench, has been Bulgaria's best player. We'll see if he cracks the starting lineup in the second half. Meanwhile, Pavel Maranov, 9 points on 4 of 5 shooting. He's also been very bright. For France, we didn't see Amat Mbaye in that second quarter. Mbaye, who was instrumental in that win over the Czech Republic on Friday. Meanwhile, for Bulgaria, Pavel Maranov, the 6'7" forward, who is their leading scorer coming into this one at 13 points per game. So far, only managing 2 points and 1 shot attempt, also had 3 turnovers. Of the first half, the alley-oop dunk, Lacombe to Lasov. This crowd on
on their feet. So we'll see in the next 20 minutes whether or not Bulgaria is able to respond. As you get a super slow-mo look at the Pavel Maranov to Stenimir Maranov three-pointer.
de basket, mais aussi par des personnalités bien connues des Français, sera valorisée par la Ligue au profit du Téléthon. Une initiative originale et solidaire qui souligne l'engagement de la seconde militant pour le Téléthon et le basket français. La cagnotte s'élève d'ores et déjà à 28 480.
So we're just moments away now from the second half action. France, they somewhat comfortable 10-point lead going into the third quarter, but obviously these first few minutes of the third, particularly the first 3 or 4, will be very decisive in terms of determining whether or not Bulgaria have a chance to come all the way back into this game, or if France can blow this one out wide open.
Evo to napadение ще изиграеш ти като как ще изиграеш. Ще изиграете го страни. Така че само че да се паднат Витко и Стамбата, да се паднат от една и съща страна. Да може да отидеш Ицо първи стагери за тебе и след това хуй заслони. Станка, къде си е? Хуй заслони, няма се мъгнеш на заслоните. Стамба взимаш, решаваш. Или ако можеш да селиш, или ако можеш на кръв веднага. Ако не пика рол, резко се спускай. Следвай го на пика рол, ако се стигне до играта страни.
So we'll see what kind of adjustments Bulgaria and Coach Minchev were able to make at the half in the locker room, most likely starting with ball security and taking care of the ball, limiting their turnovers. Meanwhile, a couple changes to the lineup. As you see, Ousmane Kamara getting the starting nod alongside Konate, Lacombe, Albisi, and Mbai. So Mathias Vassor starting the second half on the bench. Meanwhile, for Bulgaria, it's Petkov, Vaklinov, there's Zahariev, and then finally Dimitrov and Maranov driving the baseline. So Pavel Maranov starting this one on the bench. He was a starter in the first half. We also haven't seen much of Alexander Yanev. Maranov able to draw the foul on Kamara. Zahariev was rewarded for his good play in the first half and was indeed included in the starting lineup. And there's Mbai, who's really come on strong this season for Bologna in Italy. It's called for the foul there, trying to fight through the screen. looking at the score table. A couple of issues with the scoreboard. You see the team fouls should be, well, now France has 2. Bulgaria should have none. So they're just going to sort that out. Meanwhile, we'll have a timeout here on the floor.
Si tu es agressif, vraiment ici, il va pas t'attaquer, il va aller là. Et là, Andrew va revenir. Après, tu peux reculer. Si vraiment il ne peut pas revenir, lui, il va bifurquer. Il faut que le premier pas, tu aies la volonté de le faire reculer. Sans faire de faute. Juste des feintes. Tu n'attaques pas vraiment. Tu fais semblant d'attaquer la balle. Tu ne veux pas la prendre. C'est pour le faire reculer. Très bien, votre souhait. Et vous pouvez peut-être le maintenir. Peut-être c'est lui qui prenne ça avec. Prenne le Maranov.
So you got to admire that about Vincent Collet. Never stops coaching. Every chance you get to talk to your players, communicate the message at hand. You got to take advantage of it. And the officials still trying to figure out the issue with the scoreboard. See that the officials lined up at the scores table. As soon as we can get word on what's happening, we'll try to pass that on. We'll take a look at a few of the highlights of that first half. Surprisingly, no fouls called there against Mathias Lessard, but he was able to get the assists. We'll also take the time to update you on the other games in Group K. As I mentioned earlier, Russia victorious by 20 points over the Czech Republic. Meanwhile, Bosnia now with a 14-point lead over Finland in the third quarter of that game. And then the other game currently going on is Germany and Estonia. Germany at home. They've already qualified. But one of the games of the night, no question, Serbia-Greece, taking place in just about an hour from now. Greece, the lone undefeated team in the European Qualifiers, 9 wins, no losses. And Serbia at 5-4. Still have a little bit of work to do in order to potentially qualify. A victory in that game would put them in a third position. But if they lose, they will go to 5-5, tie with Georgia. Georgia, who just beat Israel on a buzzer beater game winner in a thrilling game there. So we're finally ready to get back to the action. Bulgaria with the possession. And here's Zahariev. Can't finish in the lane. Lacombe, another rebound. DC finds Kamara. Oh, the backdoor cut from Lacombe. They couldn't execute it. And right back, Lacombe to Kamara, who gets inside and finishes that left hand again. So great action between the two players. You see Lacombe, another assist. And on the other end, it's a great defensive play by France. Take the ball right out of Bulgaria's hands.
Albisi pick and pop to Kamara. Him and Lacombe again now on the other wing. Let's see if they can execute again. It's Albisi. Gets below the free throw line and banks it in. Tough shot, but it goes down. And once again, Albisi, who's always under control. Never seems to be in too much of a rush. Just does a great job running the show for France. Gets his second field goal. He's got 7 points now to go with his 2 assists. Meanwhile, Petkov, they find him, leave him open. He knocks down the open tray. So Petkov, who took advantage of the miscommunication defensively on the screen. Now Petkov looking to pressure Albisi. Lacombe inside to Konate, who loses it. Numbers or a chance to run here for Bulgaria. Maranov looking to get by. Konate does that. Oh, look at the nice lefty reverse finish. And once again, every time he thinks that France gets a little bit of momentum, Bulgaria responds with a run of its own. Now the lead back into single digits for France. And BC finds Mbai, who gets inside, takes the bump and finishes strong at the rim. Seems to have won a foul call. But Mbai with his first basket. He's now got 4 points. And Petkov open again as Albisi got knocked down to the ground, and it's back-to-back 3-pointers. Venceslav Petkov only came in 3 points per game. Didn't play the last time these two teams matched up. Was left on the bench, but today, 2 threes here in the third quarter. As Lacombe gets the ball poked away, and look who it is, Zahariev. Breakaway, easy. Kind of a soft dunk, strong layup. But it's Zahariev who continues his strong play with 13 points now. And Bulgaria back within 6. Lacombe assumed the ball was going to go out of bounds, and Zahariev with the acute awareness to hustle it down. And on the other end, you see there Kamara showing and then trying to go back to his man. Leaves Petkov open for the 3. And that's exactly what Cole says. Can't leave the shooter open. So Bulgaria now sensing a little bit more belief. And Lacombe gets inside and fortunate to find Kamara, but the ball's taken away. And Bulgaria getting more active defensively now. Zahariev for 3. And that would have really made this one interesting. Just off by a little bit. Meanwhile, Mbai now on the block. And he looks to go at Yanev. Basket won't count. So the foul's going to go against Georgiev. Oh, nice backdoor cut, but Konate couldn't get 2 hands on it. Off the nice feed from Albisi. You see there, Konate cut back door, but ball slips right through his fingers. Bulgaria now within 6. They've already put up 10 points here in the third quarter so far. Meanwhile, the behind-the-back dribble from Yanev goes at him by lefty hook, no good. Kamara, another rebound. Axel Julien in the game, running the point guard duties now, replacing Albisi. Mbai spots up for 3. Again, no good. Petkov, he's found his outside touch here in the third, but he throws the ball away. Konate, little overstep. Nice finish. Lahu Konate. The defensive play, and it turns the defense to instant offense. Able to get his first 2 points of the game. Meanwhile, on the other end, Yanev for 3. And a good response. So Alexander Yanev with his first basket. .33% three-point shooter coming into this one. As Konate finds Kamara. Oh, Julien spots up, wide open, short on the 3. Mbai, right place for the rebound. Elects to pull the ball back out. France will look to execute again. And it's Mbai who drives and draws a foul as the shot clock was dwindling down. So Zahariev committing a foul from behind. You see Konate, great anticipation. Just a step over and then the finger roll scoop to finish. As you see that foul once again. And that actually was on Vaklinov. Here's Boutte, who just came in. Can't finish, but look who's crashing the glass again. It's Kofi this time for France, but can't come away with it. And wide open in the corner, Avramov. Couldn't find him. Here's Maranov. Takes his time. And a foul called on the perimeter. It's an offensive foul on the screen from Vaklinov. You see, he's not happy about it. It's right there as a bit of a moving screen. Usually the ball handler, you want to wait till the guy setting the screen is set before you attack. And Minchev is getting an explanation. Also, Watara will replace Konate. Here's Lassar. Nice little move and a finish with a lefty hook off the glass. Mathias Lassar demonstrating a little bit more versatility. Usually more of a straight-up finisher, but that time, a little ball handling, the spin move, and the offhand finish. Bulgaria just with 2 turnovers so far in this quarter. They've done a better job taking care of the ball. Meanwhile, Zahariev can't finish. Julien comes away with the rebound. Finds Kofi running the floor, loses the ball. And Avramov gets around the defender. Foul's going to go against Boutte. So far, Bozidar Avramov, no points. You can tell he's wants to get a shot off at some point. Came into this game at 9 points per game. As you see that Lassar, lefty banker. Here's Avramov, shot no good. Julien spins off Zahariev. Basket won't count. Zahariev, who has 4 steals already, at that time commits his first foul.
Meanwhile, Stanimir Maranov will come out of the game. He's replaced by Petkov again. So Petkov getting a lot of playing time here in the third quarter. Meanwhile, Pavel Maranov, there he is, also checking back in. Again, Maranov just 1 of 1 from the field, 2 points. As Lassalle tries to bank it from the free throw line, too strong. (49-42), under 3 to go here in the third. Spotting up for 3. Yanev no good that time, and Lassalle another rebound. Julien will basically walk up to a free throw jumper. And officially now every player on the France roster today has scored with that Julien basket. And a foul as Avramov able to draw it on Watara. See there to sweep through. Watara who in there to put on ball pressure. Meanwhile, another foul, this time on Boutte, trying to match up with Maranov. And France now in the penalty. The 2 free throws to come for Pavel Maranov. As Boutte checks out and Lacombe back in. Connecting on the first free throw. It's only the 5th total free throw for Bulgaria. And the first one taken by someone not named Zahariev, although Pavel Maranov unable to connect on the second one. Once again, the ball going through Lacombe. Gets it back. Kofi inside to Lassalle. Great ball movement. Watara passes on the first shot. Julien has to put it up. No good. Kofi keeping the ball alive. Another possession for France. So good ball movement led to a decent shot. Here's Lassalle. Bullet pass. Watara gets it over to Kofi. He's too strong. And deflection by France. The hustle. Unsuccessful by Lacombe as he slid out of bounds. The fans appreciating the effort nonetheless. As you see, Lacombe tried to catch it and get rid of it before rolling out. Unable to do so. We have a timeout on the floor as well. So once again, Bulgaria and Minchev calling the timeout, down 8, 51-43.
Трябва да се бориш, да бъдеш пред него, да не му дадеш в самия пенал, тук да ти вземе позиция, зад него не мога да направиш нищо. Последния, когато биха Венци навътре, той беше долу пред тебе на позиция. Сега в нападение. Ти, Янев, ще поставиш Дански и запавката. Той да излезе да я получи, да си улесниме влизането.
Once again, that move from Lassalle. Nice move and the finish from Maranov. And you can see why he's the leading scorer
Great footwork on that baseline. And he keeps the game close yet again. It's just 6 points differential in the last minute of the third quarter. Wow, what a pass from Lacombe. Ouattara knocked down the corner three. And that pass was on a laser. As you see there, Pascal Donadieu. But Lacombe, who just keeps making plays, 6 assists now to go with his 5 rebounds and 2 steals. Only has 4 points, but been more of a facilitator in this one. Meanwhile, Avramov, no good on his three-pointer. In the same way the Bulgarians kept the game kind of close around that 10-point mark and not let it get too far away. Every time they get close to 5 or 6, France just pushes it back out. And it's been pretty much an 8 or 9 point game. Now the shot clock and game clock close as well as Kofi. He'll take a long three, no good. Ouattara, put back, nice touch. As the third quarter horn expires. And just like that, France back up double digits, 11-point lead now at the end of 3 for France. They've crashed the glass numerous times. That's their 9th offensive rebound. And they've limited Bulgaria to only 2 offensive rebounds. So at the end of 3, France 56-45 over Bulgaria. So make sure you download the FIBA World Cup Qualifiers app, where you can get all the up-to-the-minute stats on all the games, highlights, news articles, also the standings, which is probably the most important part so far, to see who has qualified, not just in Europe, but around the world. Of course, 32 teams heading to the FIBA World Cup in China next summer. And we've had a number of teams qualify, including this French national team. And they'll be joined so far by the Czech Republic. It's also in Group K. You see that Petkov three-pointer. Germany, Greece, Spain, Turkey, and Lithuania are the 7 teams that have clinched so far. Italy had a chance to clinch a spot last night, but lost to Poland. So they'll have to wait for the next and final round of games in February. Meanwhile, Bulgaria looking to climb up the standings with a win here on the road in France. And they'll have a lot of work to do in this fourth quarter, down 11, although that was their best performance. They put up 16 points on the board and held France to just 17. Still a +1 for France, though. And you see the fourth quarter starting 5 of Lacombe, Julien, William, Howard, Lessard, and Ouattara for France. Meanwhile, for Bulgaria, it's Maranov, Avramov, Yanev, Pavel Maranov, and Dimitrov. As Lacombe avoids the defense, finds Lessard for another strong dunk. Mathias Lessard, nobody wants to get in his way when he's at the rim. And Lacombe just keeps finding him. Assist number 7 for Paul Lacombe. Lessard deflects the ball out of bounds. Might have gotten bumped as well, but no foul called. So Lessard having a discussion there with the referee. You saw that loose ball. Lacombe, though, the ball handling wizardry, and then the awareness to find Lessard underneath. Who plays over in Spain for Unicaja. Former draft pick of the Sixers as Ouattara slaps the ball away. What a block there from the 6'4" guard. On the other end, France with a chance to extend their largest lead of the game. It's going to be Ouattara in the corner of, he does it on one end, he does it on the other. Big shot for him. You see the smile on his face as he extends the lead to 15. Makes the defensive plays and then knocks down the open 3. And all the momentum here in the fourth quarter already in favor of France. Meanwhile, Avramov, another missed three. Julien looking to run. And inside to reset. Lacombe goes inside to Lesor, who gets knocked down to the ground by Dimitrov. So that will be the first foul against Bulgaria here in the fourth. Meanwhile, Ouattara with 11 points. You see the block there. He's the leading scorer for France in just his second appearance. And on the other end, spots up in the corner. It's actually a two-pointer, so his toe was on the line. You saw that on the replay. Referee signaling a two. So those three fingers will have to be just deuces. Ouattara now with a block. He's 5 of 6 from the field. Set in the game as well. Lacombe catch and shoot. And possession will stay with France. They've controlled the glass, out rebounding Bulgaria 30-18 here so far in the game. Yeah, that right toe, those right toes just on the line for Ouattara on the last jumper, but this time spots up again. It's another long two. So he's definitely feeling it, but he needs to get behind that line. Deemed the worst shot in basketball, the long two, and you know you can get 3 points for it. So back-to-back long two for Ouattara, but I'm sure he's happy to see the ball go through the net regardless. Meanwhile, on the other end, Maranov. Strong lefty finish over the defense to put an end to that 6-0 run from France. Bulgaria's first basket of the fourth quarter. Ouattara finds a cutting Lacombe. The reverse alley-oop, no good. He gets his own rebound. And fortunate, Kostov couldn't quite handle the steal with Lacombe. You'll see here, cuts back door right in front of the rim. Just misjudges a little bit. Some good hustle. Will be another possession for France. Howard looking to go inside to Lesor. Shot clock down at 5. Good cut there from Ouattara. And the shot clock will be at 3.2 seconds.
So France will have to rush here to inbound.
And they're going to bring Konate in the game to replace Lacombe. We'll see if that's the end of Lacombe's night. Meanwhile, Howard spots up the long two. No good. Rebound, Dimitrov. The cut from Dimitrov has the mismatch on the block. Lesor coming to help. And oh, wow, the kick. As looks like Maranov realized he couldn't quite get to it. So obviously your first reaction is just to kick the ball, prevent the defense from picking it up. Meanwhile, here's Lesor, the nice dump off. William Howard, two-handed hammer. And Lesor doing a little bit of everything. That's his 4th assist for the big man. That's just great teamwork. Who said it to Lesor? He draws the defender. Howard, nobody around him, able to throw it down. I'm not going to say with authority, but he does get a dunk. And also his 8th point here of the game. This is one of those games where it seems that everyone who's gone onto the court for France has made some kind of healthy contribution, whether it's Lesor with 8 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Ouattara leading the way with 13 points. Lacombe with just 4 points, then 6 rebounds and 7 assists and 2 steals. William Howard with his 8 points. Again, everyone scoring, all 12 players for France. Meanwhile, for Bulgaria, They've shot 45% from the field. They've only gotten 3 second-half turnovers, but just haven't been able to put together a consistent run to make this lead evaporate. See again that Ouattara long jumper. So 64-47 as we are pretty much right at the 7-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Kostov doesn't need much room, can't finish the three. Howard pushes the ball out of the backcourt. Oh, the lob to Konate, and that's Ouattara, who is having the game of his life in a French uniform. It's another highlight play for Yakuba Ouattara. What a performance by the young man. As we have a whistle here, but that will give us a chance to take another look at that replay from Yakuba Ouattara. As you see, the back screen, the lob, and the dunk. Not just getting the crowd excited, not just getting his teammates excited. I don't think anybody was as excited as Ouattara on that one. And the pull-up. That used to be a technical foul in basketball. And you, of course, the let's go to cap it all off. Meanwhile, Dimitrov goes right at Howard. Oh, good footwork. And the two Bulgarian guys battle for the rebound. Goes back over to France. So 66-47 in the fourth quarter. France with a comfortable lead. Ouattara seems like he's getting a touch on every possession, and this time goes to work, showing off the post moves. There's Ouattara with another basket. This will do tremendous things for his confidence. Another near turnover there. So Ouattara, just 26 years old, playing for Monaco. And you can see why he's been included in the team in these qualifiers. Three-pointer no good that time from Stoyanov. And Lassalle with a breakaway dunk. And France now starting to run up the score and put together the highlight reel. It's another beautiful pass, this time Konate finding Lassalle in transition, who throws down the dunk for his 10th point. And Lassalle always reward the big man running hard down the floor. Meanwhile, Ouattara, 17 points on 8 of 9 from the field. 7 of 7 from 2. Just in can't miss mode right now. And Minchev seems to be running out of words to say to his players.
Човек, който поставя хендоф, играят хендоф с стамбата. Ще го поставиш бекскрин, той се отвори първа от иначе ни спет. Така че на силната страна на стамбата да му отворено. 4 страни играем, само че Янев няма кой на силната страна, а отива на...
So Yakuba Ouattara, who was born in Ghana, but Ghana doesn't really have a national basketball team, so he's been playing for France. Currently at Monaco, played last season in the G League for the Long Island Nets. So French fans now once again in a festive mood. They've qualified for the World Cup. They're up 23 here at home over Bulgaria. And they're sending the wave around the arena as Maranov drives and kicks it. Stoyanov back to Maranov. Shot clock under 5. Maranov has to put it up. Again, no basket. And the pass. Nice strong move that time for Vakinov. He can't finish. And an air ball in the three. So an empty possession despite numerous attempts for Bulgaria. They've so far managed just 2 points in the first 5 minutes here of the fourth quarter. France on a 14-2 run to extend the lead to 23. Konate. So posting up inside. But Howard will take a three. Not this time. Hussein, the offensive rebound. Oh, he can't finish the layup. Konate with another opportunity for France. So kicks it out. Hussein has to put it up. The long three. Not this time either. So how do you have the rebound? France now 38-22 rebounding advantage. It's another turnover for Bulgaria. And you see the hands go up as Hussein misses the point-blank layup. Meanwhile, that loud applause is for Yakuba Watara, who checks out of the game, and you see the joy that it brings him and his teammates after a great performance. 4 minutes left here in the game. Hussein over to Howard, he'll take another three. Once again, can't finish. Konate trying to keep the ball alive, and Maranov comes away with it. And it's another turnover. Numbers here for France. A little bit of showtime potentially. Konate will head to the free throw line. The basket does not count. You see Hussein. No look dish. Konate takes the contact from Stoyanov. And these are actually the first free throws for France since the first quarter. We haven't had many free throws throughout the game, actually. Konate making the first free throw. Marcel heads to the bench, replaced by Usman Kamara. Konate also checking out. Maranov gets by Howard, kicks it out to Petkov for three. And once again, Bulgaria just unable to knock anything down. They're now 6 of 20 from beyond the arc, shooting just 38% overall. Still just 2 points here in the fourth quarter. Kamara back to Hussein. Back to Kamara. Bit of an unorthodox shot. The tip by Mbai, no good. Look to get something on the board here. Petkov can't get around Mbai. Good defense, but it's a better offense. Nice shot from Petkov, who has been the one bright spot here in the second half. He's got 8 points now. Howard over to Mbai. Extra pass, good ball movement. Mbai gets inside, leaves his feet, can't finish. Kamara has to put it up. The shot clock did not reset, so it will be a turnover. Although, kind of seemed like the ball might have hit the rim. Referees judged that it did not. That's just the 12th turnover for France. And France out. The referees are going to discuss it, actually. There may be a chance that the side of the ball did indeed hit the rim. And after all, Bulgaria will get the possession. But yeah, France 40-24 advantage on the rebounding, including 14-4 on offensive rebounds. They've won the turnover battle. 20 points off turnovers to 7 for Bulgaria. 8-2 second chance points advantage. 42-18 points in the paint. Although Avramov able to get 2 right there. We're under the 2-minute mark here in the fourth in the game. Said gets around, draws a foul. He'll head to the free throw line for 2. So a little bit of payback for France after losing their 1 game of these qualifiers to Bulgaria back in September. That game 74-68 in favor of the Bulgarians. And who said missing the first free throw also wouldn't have counted since he stepped over the line. And who said tucking in the shirt. Knock down the second one. So you can hear French fans chanting a couple of sing-along songs. As a few dejected Bulgarian faces. Just about 90 seconds left here in the game. Here's Petkov inside. Oh, strong move. Oh, the double spin move and a nice finish that time from Nikolai Vangelov. Vangelov now with his first basket. Meanwhile, another foul called. You see there, spins 1 time, spins twice, spins 3 times to create the separation for the shot. And another foul, which will send Hussein to the free throw line. 15 foul on Bulgaria. Of course, Hussein playing on his home court at Limoges, starting point guard for the Limoges team. Hits the first free throw. Meanwhile, you see there the French assistant coach, Rudy Nelom, as Jose goes 2 for 2. And under a minute to go now in the game. France up 22. Bulgaria looking for a few more points. Mbai defending Avramov beautifully. Looks like Avramov might have turned an ankle as well. So adding injury to insult as he gets back into the play. And France content to use up a little bit more clock. Mbai wants it on the block. Lowers his shoulder. Finishes strong at the rim. Another field goal for Amat Mbai. Avramov, the 3-pointer no good, and with the shot clock and game clock about 1 second apart, this will likely be the final possession for France as they come out. Oh, it's going to be a 10-second violation, 8-second violation. So the unforced turnover for the French. And for the coach, I guess you can't be too upset about that one. So Bulgaria will inbound it and then officially dribble out the clock. Meanwhile, as the buzzer gets ready to sound, France victorious 77-53 here in Limoges over Bulgaria. the 24-point victory. They've taken care of business here at home, and their record moves to 9-1 after 10 games of the European qualifiers. Paul Lacombe, another one of the stars for the French, as they remain up top of Group K, now by 2 games over the Czech Republic. They'll get a chance to play the Czech again in the final game, day 12. But for this one, the Palais des Sports in Limoges, the Palais des Sports de Beaublanc in Limoges, it's France, another big win, 77-53 over Bulgaria. A number of performances have impressed for the French. They were led in scoring by Yakuba Ouattara, 17 points on 8 of 9 shooting. Meanwhile, Mathias Lessort, the only other French player in double figures, and in a game that you win by 24 points, when you have only 2 players in double digits, that means you're getting contributions across the board. That's exactly what happened here tonight for Les Bleus. William Howard, 8 points. Kamara, 6 points. Mbai, 6 points. Kunate, 7 points. Albisi, 7 points. So a number of players getting on the score sheet. And Yakuba Ouattara getting the player of the game nod. Meanwhile, Bulgaria will head back to the locker room and then back to Bulgaria with a 4-6 record. You see, he gets a nice watch. You gotta love that if you're Ouattara. But the best player tonight for Bulgaria, Hristo Zahariev, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 4 steals. And Stanimir Maranov, the only other player in double digits with 11 points. Also had 5 rebounds and 3 assists. But it was a tough night for Bulgaria. They shot just 21 of 52 overall, 40%. They committed 18 turnovers, including 13 in the first half. Only got to the free throw line 6 times. So not their best performance. Meanwhile, France dominated the glass, out-rebounding Bulgaria 42-24. And was really a dominant effort there. And avenging their only defeat in the qualifiers, which came against Bulgaria in September. They've won all 5 of their games in these qualifiers, coming in by an average of 13 points, and obviously adding to that margin here tonight. As we take a look at some of the highlights of this game, there were a number to choose from. France, who were the only team coming to tonight that scored over 200 two-point field goals. They had 217 actually. Were able to add another 27 three-pointers. Only knocked down 4 threes. They're not necessarily a dangerous three-point shooting team, but when you're able to get shots at the basket uncontested and a lot of high-flying dunks, of course using that athleticism, but also the passing and the ball movement, the player movement has been exemplary for France. And France came in averaging 79 points per game, just 2 points off of their average, but defensively, they hold Bulgaria to 53 points. They surpassed the rebounding totals, just about the same number of assists. And it was a dominant performance for the French, start to finish. So thank you so much for tuning in. We hope that you enjoyed the broadcast. And if you're a French fan, of course, first you had the qualification success from Friday, and now another big victory in front of the home fans. So thank you so much for tuning in. We'll have some more action for you from the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Right now, Serbia up 14 over Greece. As we take an updated look at the standings, France 9-1, and will most likely finish at the top of the group. Meanwhile, still a battle for that 3rd place spot amongst 3 teams. So make sure you stay tuned in to the rest of the action back in February. You can also tune in to the Germany-Estonia game and the Serbia-Greece games now if you have access But from us at FIBA, that will do it. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.
Bravo, hein.